Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. We have something special now. We have a tournament with actual people in an actual room. This is round one of the Beachhead 2022 tournament held recently at the BIC in Bournemouth. It was a great tournament. 21 players descended on Bournemouth and had, I hope, an absolutely wicked time. I know I thoroughly enjoyed it. But this is round one, and joining me to go through what's happening on the table, we have
James. I'm here on the channel and looking forward to seeing what comes out of this tournament.
Hi, James. Yeah, it was a good tournament. Interesting to see what people were bringing to it. Very different to what I've seen previously, but hopefully over the next 5 videos, you'll be able to see a snapshot of some of the really fun lists we actually had on display. But speaking of lists, let's have a quick look. So we have First Order versus the Republic. So on the left-hand side, we have Kev running his First Order squadron with Wrath in the TIE Whisper with marksmanship and the enhanced jabbing suite, obviously. We have Kylo Ren in the TIE Silencer. No upgrades, just there to be an ace with force. And we have 2 First Order cadets in the bombers. We have one with proton bombs and one with Deadeye shot. So a lot of health, but not many upgrades over there. James, do you want to go through?
Yeah, it might take me a minute, but the difference in upgrades is quite noticeable, even just on the screen.
Yes.
So Rich has brought 4 Republic Y-Wings. We've got R2-D2 with Elusive, a dorsal turret, proton torpedoes, Wolf Pack as crew and gunner, and a shield upgrade. We've got Goji with dorsal turret, proton torpedoes, R2 astromech, thermal detonators, and delayed fuses for those thermal detonators. And then the last 2, fortunately, are the same upgrades on both. So 2 Red Squadron bombers with ion cannon turrets, advanced proton torpedoes, agile gunners, and R2 astromechs.
Yes, that is a lot of upgrades over there. It's impressive how many upgrades you can stick on a Y-Wing, and it still, this was 199 points. It didn't even hit the 200. So, just a quick one to clarify as well, for the rule set that we were using for this, it was the current rules using Road and the update to the gas cloud, so you do not get the auto evade for the gas cloud. All other rules are the current rules. We weren't using any of the proposed rules at this time, purely because they're not official yet. We don't know 100% what's going to be going on. And from what I understand from some of the other players, they can cause quite a few issues and queries with how things interact with them. So for this, we just went with the simple rules as we currently have with Road and the gas cloud. So nice and straightforward.
Yeah, I think with the tournament especially, you need to clarify the rule set a decent time ahead of the tournament, so people can prepare in a certain way for it. Because if the new rules did come out the day before and you said, oh well, the new rules are out, we're doing the new rules, everyone's going to panic.
Yeah, I always see it, and normally when Beachhead comes up is when they've had what they used to have, the January points update. Beachhead would normally be the first one where we would use the new rules, because you'd normally leave like a 2 or 3 week lead time on that. But with this, because I said to all the players who'd messaged me, and I said on all the groups, that if the new rules come out, we will still go with the old rules, because there would not have been enough time for everyone to embed those rules in their heads and get ready for a tournament on that. So
also, there's probably going to be a lot of questions going on the day. If new rules were introduced, because you were also TO for this.
So I was TOing this, and we had Ben, who's been on channel commentating. He was doing the judging for me. So big shout out to Ben, and thank you very much for his assistance there. What was really nice is all of the players we had just seemed to just know what they needed to know. There was very few actual judge calls, and it was more a case of just double checking the odd wording here or there, an arc or a range. So
yeah, sort of standard stuff, really.
Yeah, I mean the players were absolutely fantastic. They just got on with it and had a really good day. It was great to see people that I've seen before at tournaments, new people. I do want to give a shout out to some of the guys from the Firecast Firestorm podcast who were there, especially Nick, who graciously lent me his extra large tokens so we can clearly see right now that Goji has a focus, rather than having to squint at it to try and work out what it is. So a big thank you to Nick for loaning us those tokens. They are amazing. I hope you know.
Yeah, they are very clear. Make commentary much easier, so thank you.
Yeah, I will say my wallet doesn't thank you though, because I'm going to be putting an order in for them because they are really nice, but so worth it. But yeah,
like that Rich has color coordinated his Y-Wings, having the two generics be yellow, R2 in green, Goji in red. Yeah. It really helped me out. All I had to say was, could you just put stickers on one of the yellow ones? It was quite nice. That's fair.
But they looked so cool. When it turned out he was going to be on top table, I was like, you know what, I'm really happy about this because they look nice. And I was so curious to see how these Y-Wings would play. One of the difficulties of TOing this, I was overlaying at the same time, so I didn't really get a chance to have a wander around and see what was happening elsewhere. So I was relying on having some fun games on the top table to watch, and fortunately I think they were all really good games. But just seeing these 4 Y-Wings made me go, ooh, maybe I need to buy a couple more because they could be quite fun.
Possibly. There's a few interesting combos I want to discuss at some point. But at the moment, I want to point out that these bombers from Kev are zooming into the middle.
Yeah. I mean, despite them being bombers, they are quick. And they've got a good amount of health on them. So 4 hull and 2 shields, so 6 health, like a standard bomber. But the fact that they've got shields, I think, is a big draw for them. It's going to be interesting to see how well they do. And their inbuilt ability, the pursuit thrusters, really help with them being quite fast. So during the system phase, they may perform a boost action.
It's an incredible ability for bombers. I've commentated on a bomber game before now on the channel, and every time it's just an incredible ability.
Oh yeah, because you can link that with a bomb drop as well.
Although it is worth noting that only the one marked in yellow actually has any bombs.
True. So, but you know what? That's absolutely fine. Bombs are getting quite popular now, and I like that. It's an interesting mechanic, but again, like they really fit in that first order feel. Like nothing in the first order is like, for the actual TIE variants, is slow. Like even the TIE SF has some quick moves in there. So they complement each other quite well. It's only when you get to the G and the Upsilon that you suddenly go,
well, I mean, they're shuttles. They're a different class, really.
Yeah, you don't expect them to be quick.
What's going on here?
Moving out the way for some thermal
okay.
detonator action.
Goji is dropping thermal detonator. Is he dropping 2 or just the 1? He is dropping 2.
It's 2.
Interesting. So, yeah, it's probably pointing out Goji's ability. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 defends, so I'm guessing that's range from Goji.
Yep.
It may roll 1 additional defense die for each friendly bomb at range 0 to 1 of it.
So it's very handy being able to drop 2 and delay fusing them.
This is one of the combos I want to talk about. Goji with thermal detonators for extra bombs on the field, and then delayed fuses to keep them there to protect your friends so they don't actually take damage from said bombs.
Yes, it is really cool. I mean, there's just so many things about these Y-Wings that I really enjoy. The fact they've got R2 astromech on them is not something I would actually normally expect. I think for me, I'd expect an R4 and R3 astromech on them, but having an R2 astromech, meaning they can disengage and regain shields, is just, that's quite cool. I like that. is quite clever.
Yeah, I mean, the Y-Wings aren't really going to be stressing themselves a huge amount, so I guess not having more blues isn't terrible.
And they've got the turrets as well, so that's not too bad, especially with Agile Gunner on the Red Squadrons. That's a really good gunner, allowing you to rotate your arc in the end phase. So you can almost pre-plan where you might want to go. I know I've mentioned it on channel a couple of times, but knowing when to rotate my arc is always something that I struggle with.
Well, it's also just action economy. It's, you know, it's not taking up your main action to rotate. A lot of, you know, ships that have gunners have a red rotate sometimes.
Yeah.
So just having it for free, rotate it. Granted, it's the end phase, but that just comes into the prediction. And wow, we are going to get some shooting here.
Yes, those bombers are going extremely aggressive. I mean, they are going as aggressive as they look. I forget how aggressive the First Order stuff looks sometimes until you actually see it again and you realise that those bombers, like compared to the Empire bombers, they do look mean.
I mean, they're more pointy.
Much more pointy.
Especially that Whisper.
Yeah, it's a very long ship. I think it's actually longer than the version 2 Silencer.
Yes, because I think that is the smaller one.
Yeah, that is
at the moment, isn't it?
That is the version 2 one at the back, which always for me, and I know people moaned about the scaling of it in version 1, but the version 2 one just looks too small to me now. So
you're just used to the bigger one.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 of them. I think they're really cool. But again, the size doesn't actually match now, so it does look good. But this is very aggressive from Kev. He's
but
getting
also,
right
I
there.
really like how he's flown them into these rocks. Like, they're spaced out pretty evenly. They've got room to maneuver if something terrible does happen. And they're still kind of in formation.
I mean, the only one I'm a little bit concerned about is Yellow, because he's obviously right in there with those Y-Wings.
Well, there's always one at the front, isn't there?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be an interesting one to see how it goes.
But if Yellow can live, he can almost certainly get some proton bombs off next turn.
That's a great first shot.
Decent defense.
Turning down one of those crits because of the Republic Y-Wing's ability that they can't suffer a critical damage until they are actually critically damaged. So you get to turn one down to a hit.
Yes, that's the plated hull.
Yes.
I think is what it's called.
Indeed. But that is 1 damage sneaking through, just waiting for that to update on the overlay, but looks like going to have an obstructed shot from Wrath there.
I mean, take it.
Yeah. Oof, again.
Okay.
These are some good dice they're rolling here. So rolling for elusive. Wow. Very hot dice on top table already.
There's a bit of pointing. Looks like we're doing Yellow probably. I mean, I feel like you probably just go into R2, right? He's the most expensive. He's got
I think you're right.
I mean, health as well with the shield upgrade, and he's closest.
Yeah. So I think Red will have to go into Goji just purely because of the arc.
Yes.
But there we go. That's another shield off of R2 there. So that's the shield upgrade and a regular shield down. It's not a terrible first round there for Kev. I mean, what you've got to remember is that the Whisper doesn't actually have a very good... It's only got a 2 dice gun unless it's got the bullseye, which is strange, but workable. I
think it rewards, better flying.
Yeah.
Plus, you can always rotate the larger arc to the back, which is nice. Kev has also doubled down by taking marksmanship, which is... Sometimes doubling down on abilities can be a risk.
Yeah. But I think a lot of things work. Oh, that's painful. That's a lot of damage into Yellow there. a lot of early damage as well. So I mean, I quite like that, especially with a lot of the cheaper talents. They do.
Oh, that was an ion.
Oh, so that's not. Well, I say that's not too bad, but looking at where Yellow is, he's not doing anything for a turn after this, other than potentially hurting himself.
Does Yellow doesn't get the system phase boost now? Does it?
Because it's an action. It is not. You don't get to do it. Okay. So he could drop a bomb because a bomb is not an action. Oh, that's a lot more damage.
These red dice from the White Wings.
That was on Kylo. That was a proton torpedo onto Kylo there from R2. Ouch. And here's another proton torpedo. That is Rich. Stop.
Oh, that's a lot.
Rich, he's already hurting. It's only round 1. Ouch, that is painful. That first order cadet.
We got some crits. What we got?
So we got a wounded pilot, and I believe that's a panicked pilot there. So.
Oh, and he's already stressed. Oh, Red's having a bad day.
Triple stressed. And not only that, while he performs an action, if he rolls a hit or a crit, he gets another stress token.
Oh, he's not getting
not that he's going to be doing an action for a couple of turns. First Order don't have access to Corsella, do they, James? Do they?
Look, she's a good upgrade. I agree that she should probably go up in points. She's kind of ridiculous for the resistance.
Yeah. I was having this discussion the other day with some of the guys in the store, and there are a lot of good resistance upgrades in there. Finn, Rose, Corsella. I mean, they all go on the Falcon generally, but they are really good upgrades.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way it balances out, though, in that not many of the resistance ships can actually take those upgrades.
Yeah. I mean, another good one is Paige as well, actually, when you stick her on the Star Fortress. I think she's a really good upgrade. She
really works on the Star Fortress.
True.
Like, it'd be great if you could have her on a Y-Wing. Can you take a Y-Wing?
No, you don't have. I don't think you have a crew slot on the Y-Wing for the Resistance.
I thought Paige was a gunner.
Yeah, she is a gunner. But off the top of my head,
there's no gunner slot on the Resistance Y-Wing. So
I think they got rid of. I think part of the law for it is that they got rid of the guns, the turret on the Resistance Y-Wing, due to New Republic laws and stuff, if I remember rightly. But
I like to think they went, you know what, it's a bit unbalanced, we'll just take it out.
Yeah. But I do like this positioning here from Rich with R2 and Goji splitting off, but their turrets are facing backwards. And then you've got the two red squads just in there just to mop up.
Also, they know exactly where Yellow is going to be. Yeah. And Yellow is going to be in a kill box on a rock, not shooting, maybe even taking more damage from that. Yeah, if Yellow survives this round, I will be amazed.
It will be very impressive, not gonna lie. So let's have a look. And that, I believe, is a focus there, so no additional damage.
Okay.
Lucky Yellow.
Whilst Kev is going through his other ships, I do want to point out just how good Wolfpack is that's on R2-D2. Again, after a friendly ship, arrange 0 to 3 defends. If the attacker is in your firing arc, the defender may gain 1 strain token to acquire a lock on the attacker. Great, you get a target lock, wonderful. But that's why everyone has some kind of torpedoes, be it proton or advanced proton.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get low initiative torpedoes or missiles or other munitions.
Absolutely. With all of them being initiative 2, it's highly likely that things are going to be shooting them first. I mean, if you look at all of Kev's are higher initiative, so he's shooting first. Wolf, again, another upgrade that I'd seen and I'd used, but I'm not going to lie, from this tournament, it's an upgrade I've just looked at and gone, I might have to use that a little bit more as well.
I also really like that it's on R2 because he has a crew and a gunner slot on his Y-Wing, which means you can take all Y-Wings and have the munitions. Because otherwise, I think it would have to just be on the
LA-80.
Yeah, the LA-80.
Yeah, because obviously R2-D2 doesn't exactly sit in the cockpit to fly.
No, he doesn't.
And I just love the idea of Wolfpack being in there, just looking at like the control stick, and R2 just going, "No, I've got this." Like it's just sat there like, okay, all I've got is the gun, and I'll give some target locks. You fly. It's just a brilliant image in my head.
Oh man, this is getting. Yeah, everyone is getting close together, and I'm not entirely sure the aces are going to want that.
No, I think Kylo and Wrath, although they'll probably be happy for those close range shots, it's still very, very close.
Double checking distance on those old bombs. That's all good.
Yep, definitely always worth double checking with the thermals. Okay, I love thermal detonators. I think they're brilliant. Oh, that's disappointing there.
Oh, who was that? Was that Kylo or Wrath?
That was Kylo.
That is Kylo who does have that focus.
He does have the focus, so not too bad.
I mean, if you roll 4 focuses and you have a focus token, you spend it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's 3 hits onto R2, so that just squeaks him under half now. But it's not worth a lot of, although he's the most expensive one ever, it's not worth a lot of points.
Yeah, that's the other thing about taking 4 of the same ship, same initiative, same upgrades. Everyone's about the same points. There's no clear target of, I'm going to go for Kylo because he's 77 points. He's almost half the list.
Yeah, I think you always look at go, R2 is probably the target if you're aware of Wolfpack, because Wolfpack is the one that makes you go, that actually makes him kind of scary. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's a case of just whittle them down as quickly as possible. Maybe try to, I don't know, there's so many things on there, like the advanced proton torpedoes and ion cannons look really, really scary for an ace. And then
there's the shield upgrade and elusive on R2 to be like, well, I probably won't be able to take him out quickly. Maybe I should go for someone else.
Yeah, but there's a fair amount of damage plinking through there now. But again, you expect that with a Y-Wing, and that's why they've got 8 health basic. So, and their plated upgrade as well.
Yeah, the plated helps. Yeah.
And now here comes the return onslaught, taking that strain for the target lock.
Yep, that is a big old strain token, isn't it?
You definitely can't miss it.
I think I should get the larger tokens just for my crit tokens, because I always forget about them.
Yeah, that's something that we sort of discovered here. Is like the crit tokens. I've got so many of the cardboard ones that I never use.
It's good dodge.
Wasn't it? But they did get used here quite often. I'll tell you what, actually really good idea. So
that's the advanced proton torpedo, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an advanced
5 dice, yeah.
No focus there, unfortunately. So
for the amount of dice you roll, you want more damage than that. But
yeah, so just the final shield on yellow, and we now have, is that a range 1, I believe?
Is that another ion cannon shot?
We'll see how many damage goes through. 1 damage. And yes, that was another ion cannon shot. This looks like dorsal turret.
Oh, that's a good use of the toe lock there.
Oh, and that's...
Is that red?
Night red. Yeah, that's red gone. I mean, we thought yellow was going to be gone, but I think red had obviously taken that much damage. And just for everyone at home. That was another panicked pilot, so there would have been 5 stress
Oh,
on
that poor
red there.
guy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good that he was put out of his misery. He's no longer stressed. He's just dead.
Yeah. But that's just, again, another strong round there for Rich.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think Kev should do in this situation? He can't do much with yellow. He knows where that's going to end up. He only really has his aces to maneuver, and I don't know. Kylo can probably turn around and chase R2, but then Wrath can't kind of double up to that.
The rock there does make it a little bit tricky, unfortunately. I always think that if they could just go after Goji, that might be the best option. But again, as you said, with yellow having to do the one forward, the 2 bombers, the 2 Y-wings there, it's not a great position, and that's not going to help.
Thermal detonators.
Well, I think yellow's taking 2 thermals. Depends on if Rich decides to fuse one.
I think.
Again, it's going to come down to.
You're pretty safe to fly the 2 Red Squadron bombers fairly straight.
Yeah.
Blue might have to turn to avoid the rock.
We shall see.
Because it definitely feels more like these bombs are doing damage. They aren't for Goji's defensive abilities.
I mean, we've got 1 fused potentially for that, or potentially to maybe try and catch. Oh, we have a proton bomb drop as well from First Order Cadet. I think this is more a case of, if I don't drop it now, I'm never going to.
Fair.
But it all depends, like if R2 turns up the board and if the blue stickered Y-wing goes that way, it could be quite good. Again, one of the potential downsides of playing in real life is that models do get knocked over, but I still prefer it. TTS
it wouldn't be a miniatures game if they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, they've got it pretty much back to where they were every single time. So they've done well.
R2 going for a K-turn.
I like. Unexpected.
I was about to say, it's a shame he doesn't have the R4 astromech, but obviously R2 is the astromech, so he can't have it.
Oh, and Goji doing a K-turn and disarming to regain a shield there by the looks of it.
Oh, that's true. R2 may have also done that to regain elusive.
Yes. But I like the fact that these 2 are almost mirroring each other in what they've been doing. They've got into the middle, split, and now they're coming back. It's like a very intricate, synchronized dance. That I love. I love that positioning because I'm pretty sure that he is outside of range 1 of the unfused thermal detonator there.
But close enough to the other one to get the defensive bonus of Goji. Yeah, that's really good.
That's some good flying. I'm not sure if Blue's also managed that. I think Blue's bumped there, unfortunately. So I think Blue might get caught by that.
Then it's, Blue is full health at the moment. It's 1 thermal detonator.
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
Yeah, I completely agree. But that is very well flown there, I feel. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for those aces. There's not a good place for them to go.
Also, I know we've got a lot of bombers in this particular game, but it's not often you actually see like 3 on the board.
True.
I know you have seen more at a time, but it's not common.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most bombs I've seen on the board at one time was 8, but that's only because I was running 4 bombers with thermal detonators and those just for fun.
That's the case of like, how many bombs can I drop?
Yeah.
Now let's see if Kylo can. Well, I guess we're going over to Wrath first, but Kylo needs to move.
Yeah.
Oh, is that?
That is a bump. I'm curious as to where Kylo's going to go that's going to avoid a bomb. If I don't know if he can.
I think Wrath may just have snuck in bullseye on Goji.
I think he has actually. Oh, we're just marking up here. So is that
Kylo's gone very fast. Okay.
I think he had to. He's going to have to do some. He might need to try and boost barrel roll to get.
He didn't fly over
away.
the rock, so he does have maneuvers. He didn't bump, so he's all good. What does he have? He can boost now, can't he? He can boost all barrel roll and then auto thrusters for the other one.
Yes. So yeah, he can. After you form an action, you may form in red.
So he's safe now because that one he's closest to is fused.
Yeah.
Just got out of range one of it anyway. It's this close, but it doesn't actually matter.
It's close.
He's also only really going to get shot at by Goji unless he does that.
Goji is disarmed, so.
Oh yes, good point. That's looking back his Arthur Ashemek.
Yeah, looking back at this, I think it might have been a slight mistake to barrel roll there. I don't think he needed to.
I think maybe he just wanted a bit of distance for maneuvering next turn.
Or possibly forgot about the fused thermal there is another case. Because to us, delayed fuses doesn't actually happen very often. Oh, so they rolled for each other there. So it was a blank for the first order cadet. And I believe, did we see a hit there for blue?
Blue.
Took
the Red Squadron bomber that's highlighted in blue, that is the yellow ship on the board, has taken one shield. So I think the thermal detonator did do one bit of damage there.
Welcome to color theory. It's when ships have colored names to them and you give them a sticker of the opposite color, it is a bit confusing. But
there's
didn't have much options.
Yeah.
Because
also these players don't show up going, I'm going to be recorded for a YouTube channel.
Yeah. And again, I do all the players on the day who is outside of bullseye there.
It's not in bullseye. It's disappointing for Wrath.
Yeah. But all the players that agreed to be on the channel, again, thank you very much. You guys, it was really good fun to watch your games and get to actually see all the action the whole way through.
How many players total were there?
So we had 21 players in total.
Okay.
For a 5-round Swiss tournament on the Saturday. And then we had a more casual day the following day where we were doing some Aces High. We had 3 games of Aces High, one with 7 players, one with 8, and one with 6. But it was really good fun.
Like that, the sort of tournament day and then the fun day.
Yeah.
Not that the tournaments aren't fun, but you know what I mean.
A more relaxed day.
Yeah.
And obviously, Beachhead is a massive convention run by Pete from Entoyment Wargaming, where I play every week. He hires at the BIC. This year was the biggest year for Beachhead so far. They had so many tournament players for all the tournaments across it all that they actually had to put some in the corridor because there wasn't enough room for them. And they still had a separate room for demo games and stalls. They had board games set up. It was just an absolutely brilliant day. Great atmosphere from everyone. So if you are interested in Beachhead next year, do keep an eye out for that. It's a great time to come down. If you want to play, if you want to just see what's going on.
Yellow. Sorry to interrupt, but yellow has been ioned again. I feel like at this point we might, if he had more health, we might just see him fly off the board.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. And that's a big attack. That's big.
He may as well spin that focus.
Yeah. And that's...
Take 1 damage.
Oh.
Yellow's
That
still
is-
in there. I said last time I'd be surprised if he lived, and he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. He's doing surprisingly well. I will point out that obviously they're only putting one ion token down, even if he gets more, because there's no point putting multiples on a small base ship.
Yep.
But whilst they are setting their dials and just about to start the next round, just want to remind you guys, if you do enjoy what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, you can support us on Patreon with the link in the description below. I think you've probably heard me say it enough times, guys. If you do go for our top Patreon level, you can actually tell us what to fly, and it can be pretty much whatever you want. We will do our utmost to fly that. We have recently flown a Patreon submission, and it was an absolutely cracking game, and that's up on the channel, so you can see that.
And here comes Goji slowly rolling back into the fight. I'm guessing
Yeah.
R2 is going to do something fairly similar.
I mean, if we go on what we've seen, he's going to do a 1-4 and a barrel roll to the right. I mean, I doubt he'll do that, but like the synchronicity of it would actually be amazing if he did.
Stress. So he could do a 2.
Yeah. But it's just, I think what's really made these Y-Wings so dangerous is that combination of Wolfpack, the turrets on there, and again, just the sheer amount of health.
Yeah, the action economy is great with Wolfpack. Also, the downside of Wolfpack is getting a strain token, and the Y-Wings only have 1 defense die anyway.
And
They've got enough health to, survive a few rounds at least.
And if you play it right and do it at the right time, all the shots might be done. I mean, the Goji did it earlier, and Kevin shot everything, so he had the strain and just got rid of it with a blue maneuver. So again, being initiative 2, you get more choice.
Yeah, I guess the point we made earlier about not having the R4 astromech, that would help you remove strain. Actually, I always think of it as just removing stress, but so strain about maybe.
So obviously you remove a strain with a blue maneuver, but also after you've been shot, it goes away. So it's only there for 1 shot as well.
Yeah.
So it is a really interesting mechanic. Oh, that is unfortunate for Wrath. He's not going to get through.
Wrath?
That is another bump. So there's no tokens there, and that is a lot of ships right in there. Yellow's about to take a thermal.
I mean, Wrath definitely has bullseye on the strained Red Squadron bomber.
That is good for Wrath. But now with Kylo... Oh, was that a bump?
Oh.
I thought that had made it there.
Well, it's, the players seem to agree pretty quickly that it was a bump. So
yeah. Looking at it, I think... Does Kylo does have arc on Yellow, I believe. So now the question is... Oh, and that is
it, I think.
Bye-bye First Order Cadet. Yep, that was it. Got a crit off of the thermal debt.
Nothing from the other proton bomb, but he dropped it. He had a chance.
He's used all his upgrades. No, he didn't use Deadeye Shot, but he's used the bombs, which is good. I think this is the right way around, to use Kylo first with that.
Oh, well, he's got 2 force.
I mean, you could spend the 2 force. You'd only be getting shot by one thing. So, yeah, 2 force. It's 2 damage going through. I'd say if he'd have hit with all 4 of those, that would have been absolutely ideal.
And then just double checking for that bullseye, which, yes, it definitely has.
Yeah. I'll say that was a 4 dice shot as well.
Wrath.
Oh, he's not using marksmanship though. So, but again, with the plated hull.
Yeah, with the plated hull, it doesn't matter, does it?
But that is half points on Yellow now. So we are half points with R2D2 and Yellow. So bringing it back, although we've lost both the bombers, they're fairly cheap. mean, there's 69 points in total. So points-wise, it's still very close. But these shots that Rich has got are just insane.
Oh my... What? What?
So that's an ionized Wrath.
Wow. An ionized ace is not good news. And we've seen Rich knows how to capitalize on an ion ship.
Yeah. It's a very sad day when your ace gets, like, the two saddest things for an ace is not getting actions and being ionized.
And both have happened to Wrath.
Both have happened to Wrath. Oh, that is just... It's not good.
I do often like to look at the situation on the board and be like, where have the ships actually moved from? Like, the Y-Wings have mostly stayed this side of the board. Kylo has almost done a lap.
Kylo has pretty much lapped the board. Wrath has taken the quicker route through. Obviously, the First Order cadets are now littering the entire board with
R2 strayed a little bit from the group, but he'll work his way back.
I mean, R2's always been a bit of the rebellious type, going off and doing his own thing. You just expect that from him. But, I mean, R2-D2, as a pilot in the Y-Wing, he's actually really good. I mean, we've had him in Aces High, and he was a surprisingly sneaky pilot in that as well.
Yeah, his ability is, like, not amazing, but it's just fairly consistent. At the start of the engagement phase, so before anyone goes to shoot, if there is an enemy ship in your rear arc, so regular arc, not like rear half arc, gain 1 calculate.
It's a solid,
fairly simple, but
yeah.
If you end up needing that calculate because someone has zoomed in behind you, great.
Yeah. Will this bump Wrath? I think Wrath might be able to fit in there, which is, I don't know if Wrath's going to be overly happy about that.
Wrath is not going to be in a good position either way. If he bumps, he won't get his focus. If he doesn't, he's getting range 1 shot from that Y-Wing that's just parked in front of him.
Oh, and there is R2-D2 straying into the other half of the board there.
Oh, risky.
I know. He now knows that there is more space out there to play with, but I think... one thing I'm going to quickly say here is that normally, when we record a game and all the action happens in one half, it's normally at the top half. So it's harder to see. So it's really nice that all the action is happening in the bottom half now so that we can actually see it really clearly this time.
True. Yeah.
Because unlike TTS, you can't just switch the camera around, like, in a second. I mean, some people might say buy second camera. Oh,
he didn't bump Wrath, but he did manage to bump Kylo.
Yeah. And those spiky wings are really getting in the way.
Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate. Oh, no, Kylo's staying on, I think. Kylo's model is seemingly okay. Yes. So Kylo has bumped into that Y-Wing. The one below him has a disarm token.
Yeah.
And I think Goji's gun is probably pointing to the rear.
Goji's gun is pointing to the rear, yes. So it's not going to be a great day. And I
think he's still trying to double into Wrath.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If you can take Wrath out,
I mean, again, the benefit of having everyone at the same initiative, you can choose to have yellow shoot Wrath. If somehow that dies, then Goji can take a shot at Kylo.
Yeah. And that is 2 shields off of the blue stickered yellow ship red squadron bomber.
Yep, the one that's between the 2 First Order ships.
But I don't think Kylo doesn't have a shot.
Oh, that's disappointing.
So now it's down to Goji with his dorsal turret.
Oh, only the one. Dodged.
Only the one. Dodged. Nice.
Nice job, Wrath.
And
kept hold of that focus.
Another ion cannon turret. Ooh, does he get away with it? Nope.
Well, he doesn't get ions though.
He doesn't get ions, so just the damage there. So that's actually probably the better scenario of the 2.
Yes. Well, best scenario being no damage, no ion.
Oh yeah.
But not being ioned against, still there's 4 enemy ships on the board for Wrath. All still with a decent amount of health each.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of health on that side of the board. I mean, you look at it, there's 7 on Goji, 4 on R2, 5 on blue, and 4 on yellow. There's a lot to choose
20 health remaining for the Republic?
Yeah, 20 health.
And 7 for First Order.
Yeah, I mean, your aces always have less health anyway, but still.
They are. I'm just not sure if these aces have enough punch to get through these Y-Wings.
I think what is really happening is the turret. It's Agile Gunner with that turret and the combination of Wolfpack. They're just the action.
They've got all the tricks.
Yeah, the action economy on that is amazing.
I gotta say, I really like Rich's list. He's got some interesting combos with upgrades like Wolfpack and the torpedoes. He's got torpedoes, he's got turrets, he's got some bombs, he's got a lot of health. He's got everyone at the same initiative. It's a lot of what you would want in a strong list.
It's a list that really sings to me, to be honest. The 4 ships, all the same initiative. I like having my ships the same initiative because that flexibility of you can decide what order they go in is just, I can't overstate how powerful that can actually be. The amount of times you've had 2 ships that are at slightly different initiatives and just looked at it and gone, I really wish that the other one could go first right now.
Yeah. Or you wait too long, you've already planned your darts, and you go, oh wait, that guy's moving first. Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Is there enough space for Wrath to fit past Kylo?
Oh, and bump past Kylo. Interesting.
You almost don't want it to. Okay, there's some familiar hands jumping in there to help. That's actually quite disappointing for Wrath there because he fits past Kylo. Oh, that's the best parallel park you'll ever see in space.
Wow, that didn't touch Kylo? Sorry,
no.
There was enough room to fit in.
Yeah, there was enough room.
Wow.
It is, from this angle, it looks impossible, but I promise, I mean, I'm taking a picture of it right there. I'm that impressed. It was, again, it was one of those ones of, well, regardless of who went first there, but I think that Kev was hoping.
Yeah, otherwise you would straight away just move Kylo out of the way.
Yeah. And again, another situation where...
Although actually with Kylo where he is now, I think Kylo would have bumped into Wrath.
It's difficult to say.
Strange Shooting, right.
Yeah, so that's into Goji. Kylo to Goji. No shots from Wrath this time, as we can already see. So, how many shots are going to be going into Kylo?
Well, here comes R2. Just the gun out the front, because his turret is at the rear.
Getting a lock there because of Wolfpack.
Yeah, so that's Goji getting the target lock, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Hit crit, not bad. Ouch. Spending the force there, I believe, just to take just the crit, which is a fuel leak.
Oh, not great.
No. And that'd be an ion cannon.
Oh. I mean, in some ways, it is just an ion cannon, but Rich's red dice have been so good.
Yeah, so 1 damage.
Granted, he's getting a lot of shots. He's firing more red dice, so it maybe just feels that way, but...
Oh, blue had a shot as well. And,
into Kylo.
Got to spend that focus there. And I think that's all shots, but that was...
Ouch.
I mean, these Y-Wings are just doing so well.
And now Kylo is ioned, and these Y-Wings are just going to swarm around him.
Yeah. I just see... All I see is R2-D2 getting into a lovely position there to mess him up, and it's going to be insane.
I guess at least Goji doesn't have any more thermal detonators to drop right on Kylo.
Yeah, that would be disappointing. But if R2 can get into the right position, he's still got a proton torpedo.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Does anyone else have...
Yellow has an advanced proton torpedo. So...
I don't think Yellow can get into range 1 for it, though. Maybe.
I think he could have, because Kylo would still need to move, and you know where he's going to be.
I think he's going for it.
I think
that was the target lock.
I'm not...
I mean, either way, you know Kylo's not going to be shooting at you. Wrath, if he does get a shot, not going to be great. So I think the target lock's still the safest option.
Yeah. And obviously, you hate to say it, but it would be nice if he did manage to line it up, because it's when you see someone line something up like that, something they can see and plan. It's a beautiful thing to see it lined up nicely. But it's not going to be a good day for Kylo. And does Wrath fit down there?
I think that's
he does fit. He does fit. Nice.
So Wrath still stressed.
Still
stressed. But has a shot.
Yes, which is definitely an advantage for Wrath right now. And
I mean, I know he's ioned and he's only going forward and focusing. But, you know, Kylo has 2 force and a focus. That's a lot of defense still.
Yeah, it's actually 1 force, by the way. The overlay's just updated. I think at the same time I noticed. But he's got a focus, he's got a force, so that is...
And potentially enough room to maneuver around that rock if he isn't ioned again.
Yeah. This is where Rich then has the... I think what Rich needs to do...
Do you try and just kill him, or do you try and ion him onto the rock and hope that the rock kills him?
I think if it was me, I would shoot with Yellow last.
Yes.
I would see
I agree.
I would see what I can do with R2 and Goji, because it's all that they've got. And I know that's all that Yellow's got as well, but I would do that first. I'm curious as to whether Blue actually sneaks a shot in.
I think this is Kylo into Goji.
Yeah. Spending the force for what? Okay, going aggressive. Didn't pay off. Wrath is going to take a shot at Blue.
Bullseye, range 1, so 4 dice?
4 dice with marksmanship. That's good. It will get turned down, though, because... Oh, that's not bad. That's half-pointed Blue. But which order does Rich do this in? So R2-D2 first. It's not a bad shot.
Range 1 out the front, yeah.
There's the evade.
There's Kylo's dice.
Right. Now Goji.
1,
2 hits.
Right. I was going to say, why is there only 1 die?
Yeah. Oh, it's got it.
Oh,
you've got to spend it.
He's only got 2 health. He has to spend it.
So he did actually put that to an evade. So now, you
may as well use the ion cannon. It's just more dice, right?
Yeah.
Only the 1 spends the target lock. He gets nothing.
There's the evade. Oh, that is Kylo, skin of his teeth there.
You know what? I said use the turret, but
I think the APT would have been better.
Was he in range? They didn't really check for range, did they?
Yeah,
they just went for it.
Yeah, he might not have had that range 1. But
I'd be curious now. It looks like it might just have clipped range 1.
Yeah, I thought it did, but I couldn't quite tell with Rich's range ruler there, because really nice range rulers, but it can't really see that definitive line there for it. But that's a nice K-turn there from Blue. I like that. Just saying, I know you're there, Wrath. Come on then.
Yeah. And then the other one going to almost certainly get in the way of Kylo if Kylo wants to try and avoid that rock.
Yeah.
I guess he could try and sneak behind R2, but
I think that'd be it's tricky
because R2's gun is pointing backwards.
Yeah.
And he will get a calculate with his ability if you're behind him.
Yeah. There we go. Does he just take a target lock now? Yeah, he's target lock Wrath.
Try and get his last proton torpedo off, potentially.
Yeah. I think
R2 might be able to get that proton off. Unless he wants to try and finish Kylo. Rich is in the fortunate position of trying to decide who to kill rather than just who do I shoot?
Yeah. It's a nice position to be in. It doesn't happen very often. But I think he's got two potentially good shots in there on Wrath.
I do want to say, whilst Kev, isn't doing, he's still doing all right in points. And when he can maneuver, he's doing some great maneuvers. Look at this barrel roll. That's great.
Look at this. That is...
How good is that? It's just the Ion has denied him his own maneuverability.
I think that might have even stuck him outside of dorsal on Goji, so I think Kylo is actually safe for a turn. It's
incredible.
It's
well
very
played.
Close. Yeah.
It does mean everyone is going to shoot Wrath.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Wrath.
That's the trade-off, really.
But yeah, when Kev hasn't been hampered by the Ions, he has... that initial opening, flying...
Is this Wrath?
That is Wrath.
Into Blue.
That's a lot of damage.
Some crits. It could, some good crits that could take it out. One turnover.
That's Blue gone.
Wow. Way to go, Wrath.
There we go. Someone was angry.
He was having a bad day, and Blue ended up in front of him.
Some would say he was potentially quite wrathful there.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad you did.
Someone had to. I'm even pretty sure that someone said it on the day as well. But yeah, as I was saying, when Kev's been free to fly and not been ioned, it has been a joy to watch. Again, that initial opening going through the rock.
His R2's torpedo.
Oh, so that was
one of those was
correct. Oh, Wrath.
You know what though? He took out a Y-wing before going down.
He did. He did a great job with that Y-wing. So well done, Wrath. But I'm sorry, that's a direct hit. You are definitely dead. So
it's a 1 health Kylo Ren against the world.
And Goji has a shot.
Oh, Goji rotated the gun.
Only just. Wow.
It's fine. Kylo just needs to do
a lot. 13 damage in 7 minutes. 6.5 minutes. It's doable. Yeah, why not?
He could take out the other generic Red Squadron bomber. I think Goji probably not. He might be able to get R2, but probably only one other Y-wing for some points in the tournament.
Yeah. I think if he could take out Red and R2, it would be very impressive. I'm pretty sure, working out the points in my head, that would still be a victory to Rich, but it would be a very minor victory, and it'd be a great MOV result. As it stands, I don't think Kev's got a pretty good MOV result here. 97 points. He hasn't been tabled at all, and when it's gone right, it's really done well. And I like seeing the first order flown well.
I just like seeing ships flown well, and that is what Kev has done. But again, I don't really use ion enough, especially after seeing this cannon. I'm like, well, maybe I should try and use that ion cannon turret more.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, these lists have shown me things where I'm like, actually, there is a lot more value in there than I realised. There's the evades coming in. It's almost like they're saying sorry now.
A little bit. Well, they've seen all of the friends die and being like, "Oh, we should do something."
Oh, there's the evades.
Kylo still lives.
Wow.
He's edging ever so slightly closer to that rock, though.
He's almost put himself back to where he was ionized to.
Yeah.
Like, that's the impressiveness of how maneuverable that ship is. In 2 turns, it's got itself back to where it was. But this is actually where it gets tougher for Rich. I know that obviously he's... Like, the victory is pretty much in the bag for him now. But
now he's got to try and catch Kylo.
He's got to catch an ace. Kev only has to worry about what he's got to do. It's easier for him to dance around there.
True, but the White Wings have these turrets, which means a larger area to dodge, and there's 3 of them.
True.
Okay, Kylo, where are you going?
That's a good box there. Good kill box.
Oh. Okay. So
interesting.
Not pretty sure what you do from there. I mean, you can probably get sort of next to R2 to avoid some shots.
Yeah, I think boost barrel roll.
Oh, straight boost. Okay.
Yeah, that would give that the bendy boost wouldn't have given you the opportunity to barrel roll there. The question is, does it get out of range 2? Yes. And yes. So he did get out of that kill box there.
Nice flying again.
Very well done there.
This is going into what, round 3 of a 1 health Kylo trying to dodge 3 ships with turrets?
I think we might be getting close to the 4th round of 1 health Kylo. I mean,
like, Rich is pretty confident at this point that he has got it on points, but how frustrating is that to be like, I just need 1 bit of damage on this guy, and he's not being where I need him to be.
Yeah, and less than 2 minutes on the clock as well to do it. But I will say this has been a brilliant game. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this in person, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching it back as well. Just some really good flying, some really good tactical maneuvers there. Just so impressive from both players.
Yeah, this has been a quality game, particularly, as you say, for tactics.
I mean, it's almost like the opening ceremony to Beachhead, and I love it. It definitely made up for having to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get down there and get set up for it.
Well, we appreciate that you did, because we now get these videos.
Oh, let's see.
Kylo get... Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's not bad. Oh, there's the...
So one damage.
Just 1 damage. It does remove that mod there for the return shot. Oh, no, Wolfpack.
Yeah.
This is where Wolfpack becomes ridiculous.
How many points is Wolfpack? Is 4 points. I guess the limitation is like who can actually take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wolfpack on R2 in a Y-Wing, that's a really cool combo. I want to see more of that elsewhere.
We have 1 more round. There was no shot there. But...
Well, we're going to time, potentially.
The arc is in the back. Yeah, I think this is a kill box too far for Kylo, unfortunately. Gojo do what?
If he somehow gets boosts around and gets right up to R2, he might get a kill. Or if he
can
sloop? Yeah,
over the top.
No, he can Talon roll.
Oh, no, Talon roll
would. No, he's just going for R2 instead.
Okay, yeah, looks like he's avoided yellow. But he's going to have forward shots from R2.
Actually, Yellow still had the advanced proton torpedo, didn't he?
He did.
So I guess definitely didn't want to be in front of that.
Yeah.
Just to be on the safe side.
I don't know whether barrel rolling might have been a bad idea there.
Is he boosting in to get range 1 for 4 dice? He is.
Okay, that's good.
He's hoping for those 4 dice. He's got 2 force. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
Can Kylo Ren kill RTD2? Not like that, unfortunately.
No. Didn't even spend the force, so 1 damage on R2.
Well, if you know you're not going to get the kill, you may as well save it for defense.
And a cheeky elusive roll there as well. Didn't work, but yeah. Rear turret catch, or...
Might be in arc, but not in arc and in range.
Nope.
Yeah, going over to Goji.
Yeah.
Just
the one. But it's enough.
Oh, the dice blank out.
Oh, that's...
I mean, Kev did well to last until time.
I know.
The 1 health Kylo. Like, well done.
It was thoroughly impressive and thoroughly enjoyable to watch. And again, I know we've said it so many times, but both players flew that exceptionally well. And I'm not going to lie, it nearly made me go to the shop and buy some more Y-Wings to try it out. And I do like Kev's list as well. Minimal on the upgrades, but still has a lot there that it can do. So thank you very much to both players, Kev and Rich.
Yeah,
great game.
Brilliant.
Rich, well done on the victory. Kev, great flying. But yeah, that was fantastic. James, thank you very much for joining us for that one.
You're welcome.
And guys, that was round 1 of Beachhead. We've got 4 more rounds coming for you. So if you don't want to miss them, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. And if you do really like what we're doing here, you can support us on Patreon with a link in the description below. But for now, we will see you next time.